It's your boy on wheels, CT Berry, coming at you for another video. I guess we're gonna let this touchpad first. Using the camera on my PS4 to record this video. So, I guess we gotta be greeted by this guy first before we get out of the video. It's gonna scan my face like I'm a dead person. But, I almost forgot. We're not gonna do this right now. Yes, I'm aware. Thank you. Anyway. So, hold on. Before we get started, this dude will keep you guys entertained. I gotta get this. Looking for my iPad. So, you guys just hang tight for a second. I see it. Someone should have chimed on and told me it was right here. So, let's get so in this video we're going to do a few things. We are going to talk wrestling, because I haven't done one of those videos in a while where I talk about like what's going on in the world of like Impact, AEW, WWE, and we are going to do the weekly football scores, and just sit over there. Anyway, so we're going to do this. And, there we go. Okay. So, like I said, we are going to talk about wrestling, which I'm going to get that pulled up right. Okay. First, we are going to talk about Bound for Glory 2023 from TNA. So, we have the results right here on Impact Wrestling's website. So, first off, 3 people were inducted into the TNA Hall of Fame. That being legendary commentators Mike Tenay and Don West, and the original Knockout, Tracy Brooks. So, all 3 of those people were inducted into the Hall of Fame. And so, first off, we had an X Division championship match between Chris Sabin and former WWE superstar and current New Japan Wrestling star Kenta, or Hideo Itami, depending on like, you know, where you know him from. And Chris Sabin retained his X Division championship against Kenta at Bound for Glory. So, I'm not gonna read like what happened in the match. I mean, I'm just gonna go over the results because I didn't watch it because I'm not paying $40 to watch pay-per-views. So we're just gonna read the results of everything that happened and go from there. So next we had a fatal 4-way Monsters Ball between PCO, Rhino, Steve Macklin, and Moose. So these 4 gentlemen did a Monsters Ball match, and they were locked inside confinement for 24 hours without food or water, apparently. And the winner of that match was PCO. So pretty nice that, he won a match, for each Canadian Frankenstein that was, built for people like him. I love what they're doing with PCO and Impact. I mean, for being in his 50s, man, PCO, I've said this before, he still moves really good for a wrestler his age, and, I have a lot of respect for him going out and putting his body through hell like that to entertain us. So, like I said, he's become one of my favorite guys to watch on weekly wrestling programming. So, good thing that PCO won that match. And then we had the Rascals versus the Ace and Bay Connection, or ABC for short. The Rascals defended their Impact World Tag Team titles against the ABC, and ABC did defeat the Rascals, which consisted of Trey Miguel and Zachary Wentz, to become new Impact World Tag Team Champions. And then we had a match between New Japan star Will Ospreay and current Impact star Mike Bailey. They went 1-on-1, which I would have loved to see this match. 2 of my favorites to watch going at it, with Will being one of the hottest free agents coming up in 2024. It's going to be really exciting to see where he goes next. And he actually did defeat Mike Bailey in that match, so hopefully we'll get some highlights of that match. And the Call Your Shot Gauntlet happened, and the winner earns a title shot of their choosing anytime, anywhere. And which I will read the results of this. So, Jake Something enters at number 1 and begins the match with Eddie Edwards at number 2. Kenny King enters at number 3. Edwards slides under the bottom rope, which does not count as an elimination. There's a mini Honor No More reunion as Edwards and King work together. Juvento Guerrera is a surprise at number 4. And if you don't know who Juvento Guerrera is, he was the guy that had a rivalry with Chris Jericho back in WCW. So that's who that is. And then Sheldon Jean, which is Kenny King's running buddy, gets up on the apron, but Juvento knocks him down. King capitalizes on the distraction with a spinebuster to Juvento. Johnny Swinger enters at number 5. Juvento eliminates King. Out of nowhere, Crazy Steve assaults Swinger with his Feaster Fire briefcase. Giselle Shaw enters at number 6 and eliminates Swinger. Steve is about to assault Swinger with his fork when digital media champion Tommy Dreamer makes the save. Jody Threat entered at number 7. and Jay Vidal and Savannah Evans prevent Shaw from being eliminated by threat. Kylan King enters at number 8. Edwards eliminated Venta, and Sonny Kiss, former AEW star, is a surprise entrant at number 9. Kiss eliminates Shaw with a press slam over the top rope. Bully Ray enters at 10. Kiss and Ray engage in a dance-off. That would have been a sight to see. And Matt Cardona returned at number 11. Kiss shows Cardona what's up from the top rope. Jordan Grace enters at number 12. Eric Young entered at number 13. Young spikes Cardona with a pile driver. Cardona eliminates Edwards. Joe Hendry enters at number 14. Brian Myers enters at number 15 and immediately spears Hendry for the elimination. Myers reunites with Cardona, but Kiss brings the fight to both of them. Myers and Cardona eliminate Kiss with a double back body drop. Heath enters at number 16. Heath hits Something, Young, Kylan, and Cardona with wake-up calls. Myers eliminates Heath. Frankie Kazarian enters at number 17. Myers takes out Kazarian with the roster cut clothesline. Rich Swann enters at number 18. Jonathan Gresham at number 19. Gresham uses his t-shirt to eliminate Kylan. Dirty Dango enters at 20. Something immediately eliminated Dango. Oleg Prudis, which was Vladimir Kozlov in WWE, enters the ring and assaults the other competitors. Myers and Cardona eliminate Kazarian, Swann, and Young. Something catches Gresham in midair and tosses him over the top rope for the elimination. Something sends Myers into the void. Myers goes low on Something for the elimination. Cardona turns on Myers and eliminates him. Grace eliminates Cardona as Ray eliminates Kylan. The final two are Grace and Ray. The match must now end by pinfall or submission. Grace hits multiple back elbows, followed by the Grace driver to win. Which, I mean, I believe that, you know, as strong as Jordan Grace is, I mean, I can really see her getting Bully Ray up for that Grace driver. So, Jordan Grace won the Call Your Shot gauntlet and makes history as the first knockout to win the Call Your Shot gauntlet. And she wasted no time by calling her shot for the Knockouts World Championship at Hard to Kill this January on pay-per-view. And Trinity defended her Knockouts title against Mickie James because, if you remember, Mickie James had to relinquish the Knockouts title due to injury. And Trinity actually defeated Mickie James with the Starstruck submission hold to win the match. And then Gia Miller interviews Moose, who declares he will be calling his shot for an Impact World Championship match at Hard to Kill, because he did get a world title shot in the Feast or Fired match on Impact. And Impact World Champion Alex Shelley versus Josh Alexander for the Impact World title. And Alex Shelley defeated Josh Alexander with the Shell Shock to win the match. And after the match, Shelley and Alexander shake hands in a tremendous show of respect. Alexander places the Impact World title around Shelley's waist. Shelley celebrates his monumental win. You know, I really thought Josh Alexander was going to win, but I'm glad Shelley did win because, you know, it just shows that they're not using him as a transitional champ. Which, if either man won, I would have been happy. Which I thought that Alex Shelley had turned heel, and I originally had that in my notes to talk about, but I guess, because remember he did hit shell shots on Josh Alexander on an episode of Impact, but ultimately I think that was because that was revenge for when Josh inadvertently hit him in that 6-man tag team match that they had in New Japan. So, and to make matters better, Impact will now, starting from the Hard to Kill pay-per-view onward, will be known once again as TNA Wrestling. So, I'm very excited about that. I loved watching TNA growing up, especially old highlights from like 2008, 2009. You know, the main event Mafia. You know, old school Jeff Hardy matches from like 2005. You know, so I'm really happy that they're coming back. But they are not bringing back the 6-sided ring because the wrestlers said that was too on the line, which I respect. You know, I mean, I as a fan would have loved to see the 6-sided ring, but I understand. As a guy who manages wrestlers, I understand, you know, the wrestlers having their choice and getting their wish. And I respect that. So, and Joya, you know, the team with Joe Hendry and Yua Uemura. And, oh, hold on. It looks like we have a couple comments. What's your views on Edge? Okay. I actually do have that in my notes. And since you asked me, I will go over that right now. So, yes, Adam Copeland is in AEW. I was kind of shocked to see him in AEW. I really didn't think he would go, but I am happy that he's there. You know, I mean, I do see them running a storyline with Edge and Christian, like, versing each other, but I think at the end of the day, they are going to team up at some point, too, to end both their careers as tag team champions. And, you see TNA and AEW joining forces to create competition. Maybe, like, once or twice, but, if you remember, they actually did kind of do that at one point, and, you know, I don't think it really worked out in AEW's favor, because remember when Kenny Omega was both the AEW and TNA champ at one point, so I mean, I'm sure they might let some guys go over and wrestle, but I don't think they're gonna like fully join forces. How did WWE let Edge and Christian join AEW? I don't know. I mean, honestly, I'm not for sure. You know, I don't really think, because if you remember, Christian did come back for the Royal Rumble, like when they had it in that Thunderdome thing, and, I don't think Vince really, you know, wanted to take the chance on Christian due to, like, his injury history, you know, so, I mean, Christian went to where he could compete, and, you know, Edge, like, they really had nothing else for him to do creatively, so, And I think they wanted to end their career together, like I said, so, you know, WWE wouldn't let it happen, so, you know, they went to where it could happen. AEW will become the new WCW of 2024. I mean, honestly, like, if they don't get their crap together and, you know, Tony Khan, like, doesn't get people to, like, control the locker room and write stories and, you know, kind of keeps the talent in check, then, yeah, I could totally see that happening. But, back to my original point, Joya is no more. Yui Uemura got the pink slip and, you know, was fired from Impact, but he is now back in New Japan. So, anyway, guys, Vince lets his stars go to AEW with no fight put on. Well, I mean, but, you know, Cody came to WWE. Brian Pillman Jr. is now in WWE. Jade Cargill's now in WWE. So, I mean, I think, like, you know, it's just with WCW and WWE, you know, they kind of traded talent back during the Monday Night War days, so I think it's just gonna happen again. No wonder Stock's in AEW around. Yeah, I don't really know too much about Stocks personally, so I mean that's good that they went up because, you know, I watch both of them, WWE and AEW. Like, you know, I'm just a wrestling fan, so the more wrestling we have, the better. And speaking of a good storyline at AEW, we have Adam Cole, Roderick Strong, and MJF. So, you know, I'm really, really intrigued by this story. As much as I love Adam Cole, and I could be wrong, I'm wondering if that ankle injury is just for storyline. You know, because I could see, like him turning against, aligning with Roderick Strong in the Kingdom to turn against MJF. And also, MJF is getting ready to defend his world title against Jay White. And after, you know, Jay White was jumped by a group of guys, and one of them was wearing MJF's mask that he used when he returned at Double or Nothing. But I don't think it was MJF that did it. I think it was Adam Cole and Roderick Strong in the Kingdom setting up MJF. Because Jay White did steal the world title. So we'll have to see what happens there. And next, Toni Storm has a new gimmick. Timeless Toni Storm, she's like a Marilyn Monroe in AEW. I'm not completely sold on the gimmick just yet, but I mean, if anybody could pull it off, it would be Toni Storm, so we'll just have to see where that goes. So let's transition into WWE. Oh man, wars are coming. Yeah? I mean, I think wars are coming, but, you know, I hope nobody gets put out of business because, you know, competition in anything is better for the fans because you don't want a monopoly with anything. So, Judgment Day, they have all the gold again. Dom's the North American champion, Finn and Damian are tag champs, and Rhea is the WWE is the Women's World Champion, and Damien still has the Money in the Bank, which I really don't understand why they took the title off Trick so early. But because I was really behind that whole whoop that Trick thing, but I think everyone and their brother knows Carmelo attacked Trick on NXT, so they are going to set up the feud for that. But, you know, I do hope Trick goes over in that feud, so. But as far as Cody and Jay losing the tag titles, I mean, I can see why it happened, you know, Jimmy being jealous that Jay was tag champs with somebody other than him. But, you know, this is all just to set up Jimmy and Jay versus at WrestleMania and Cody versus Roman 2 at WrestleMania as well. And with that trade of Jey Uso going to Raw, we saw that Kevin Owens went to SmackDown. So Kevin and Sami are no more. But I really honestly don't know what else they could have done as a team. So, you know, it's better to let them split up rather than be baby faces and go on monumental babyface runs. Because I know Triple H was always high on both of them, so I could see them getting title shots on Raw and SmackDown respectively. And speaking of Raw and SmackDown, we have new general managers. Adam Pearce has been named the general manager of Raw, and Nick Aldis, yes, Nick Aldis, has been named the general manager of SmackDown. So, you know, I'm sure we'll see Nick Aldis wrestle at some point, but I'm excited to see where this new GM run goes, because we haven't had GMs on Raw and SmackDown forever, so we'll see where this goes. And our last 3 points are about NXT last night. We saw an awesome Devil's Playground match between Roxanne Perez and Kiana James. Both of those young ladies have bright futures in the WWE. And, you know, I just wanted to give them their respect for a heck of a match they put on last night. So, well done, ladies. And then a shocker, in my opinion, Chase U defeated the D'Angelo family to become new NXT Tag Champs. So, yeah, I was kind of surprised there, but, you know, JC Jane got involved, so, you know, I'm wondering, because I thought Thea Hale would throw in the towel, you know, for revenge for Andre Chase throwing in the towel in her match against Tiffany Stratton. So, but Chase U are tag champs, and then next week Thea Hale and JC Jade will challenge Piper Niven and Chelsea Green for the WWE Women's Tag Titles. So we'll see what happens there. And on our last point, and another upset, but I'm happy with this upset. You know, Laura Valkyria defeated Becky Lynch to become the NXT champion. So, and an absolutely phenomenal match, by the way. And, you know, I thought Becky was going to win personally, but I'm glad that Lyra went over. Because I think that's what Becky wanted to do, was put her over. And, you know, I've watched Lyra on NXT UK, so, you know, I think she's going to be a heck of a champion. But that concludes it for the wrestling talk portion of this video. Let's go over the NFL Week 7 scores. So, let's start at the top. I'll make sure okay. So, on the Thursday night game, we saw the Jacksonville Jaguars defeat the New Orleans Saints by a score of 31-24. Jags are looking really good this season, so to my friend Michelle Batten, if you're watching, I know you're happy down there in Florida, my friend. Congratulations. The Jags are doing really well, so I'm sure you're happy. And then the Raiders lost to the Bears by a score of 12-30. And the Raiders just keep having all kinds of problems out there in Vegas. So, kind of sucks for Raiders fans, but the Bears were able to pull out a win with their backup QB, no less, because in last week's game, Justin Fields suffered a hand injury. And then the Giants defeated the Commanders by a score of 14-7, so not a high-scoring game in that game. And then the Patriots upset the Bills by a score of 29-25. The Patriots pulled one out. It is Bill Belichick, so I'm really happy they were able to get the win. I don't know why I said that, because I'm not a Patriots fan, but I guess I just lost my train of thought there. And then the Steelers defeated the Rams by a score of 24-17. The Broncos defeated the Packers by a score of 19-17, so the Broncos were finally able to pick up a win. And then the Vikings on Monday night defeated the 49ers by a score of 22-17. So then, back to Sunday, the Falcons defeated the Buccaneers by a score of 16-13. And my Browns, the boys did it again, even though they gave us a heart attack. Defeated the Colts by a score of 39-38. After Deshaun Watson was benched, after he went down with an injury in the first quarter, so Kevin Stefanski decided to play it safe and keep Deshaun Watson out for the rest of the game. And then the Ravens trounced the Lions by a score of 38-6. The Seahawks defeated the Cardinals by a score of 20-10. I know a lot of WVU fans, so I'm really happy for how well Geno Smith is doing in Seattle right now. After a career being a backup, I'm glad he's able to get the starting job finally and do really well in Seattle. And the Chiefs defeated the Chargers by a score of 31-17. So I'm sure Taylor Swift is all good and happy. And the Eagles, my Eagles, right here, defeated the Dolphins by a score of 31-17 in the Sunday Night Football. before we get into the toy haul, I'm going to grab a drink of water and I will be right back. So, Asabi here, this little robot guy right here, if you see him, he will keep you company while I'm gone. I won't be gone long. Alright, sorry guys. I just had to grab a quick drink real quick. So, let's get into the toy and video game haul that I got. And a store that my good friend Taylor introduced me to called the Mason Jar. They have all kinds of little knickknacks in there. And, excuse me. You guys know that I love my knickknacks, so we have a Funko Pop. I don't know if you guys can see it or not. Sergeant Johnson from Halo. So I'll go ahead and take him out of the box so I can show you guys. Oh yeah, look at here. So yeah, we have Sergeant Johnson from Halo right here in the flesh. So get out of here, box. Yeah, I'm sure Funko collectors are like, no, don't get rid of the box. Guys, I just have these to enjoy them, so you know. I buy them for myself, not for fun. And then for $3, we have a copy of MLB 11 The Show for the PlayStation 3. I like collecting older sports games, and the disc was in really, really good condition, so for $3, had to snag that. Get this bag out of here. And then I completed my collection of these. If you guys know, Thai Beanie Babies were my coping mechanism of my childhood, so I recently got back into collecting them. And we have Groot here. Say hi, Groot. I am Groot. He says hi. So put him there. And then we have I am Iron Man. So we have Iron Man here. And then we have Black Panther, the King of Wakanda, or the Queen of Wakanda. You know, because Chadwick Boseman is unfortunately no longer with us, so I can't remember the actress's name that plays Black Panther now, so if somebody wants to tell me in the comments, that'd be great. So we have Black Panther sitting here, and then just before I get the new Spider-Man game, we have Spider-Man and Spider-Man Miles Morales. So, you know, very happy to have these. And then the final thing that we got is a copy of NBA Live 2010 for the 360. Never really tried an NBA Live game before, so for $4.88. Not bad. Sorry guys. My voice is really wore out. So, I am going to stop this lovely video now. And I will be back because I did get another collection of Beanie Babies from the old McDonald's sets. So, when those come in, I will unbox those on YouTube. And we have another wrestling show up in Parkersburg for West Virginia Wrestling Entertainment that I will be a part of. So stay tuned for my review of that this weekend. And with that, guys, CT Berry is now signing off.